Hello. Okay, so rather than leaving a text response, I will expand a little bit. Um, so, not being able to understand certain concepts that we're not built to understand, or not, I guess, within the right frame of existence to understand. A very easy example to make a kind of a solid point for this would be like thinking about 4 geometric dimensions or more. Of course, we can't grasp it, not at least until we experience 4 dimensions with an understanding of it as 4 dimensions. I say this because, well, in 2 different ways. The first way would be the way we understand it right now. I attended a kind of arts and culture meets science and education like series of meetings that me and my college had, and I attended. And one of the presentations was an artist who experimented with kind of like multi-dimensional art. It's a little complicated for me to get into it, but he was basically trying to whatever. It's like he had it was more conceptual art rather than a purely visual art. Anyway, well, his point was that we need to come up with a new language for if at all, if we can, come up with a new language that will mean exactly what we mean when we say 4 dimensions or other concepts that we right now don't have a direct grasp on. And this is because right now we kind of like I've said in a previous video, we kind of put certain kind of knowledge on on a kind of shelf, and we organize it and we compare it to something that we do understand. So we'll talk about 4 dimensions like we talk about 3 dimensions and 2 dimensions, which we do understand because first of all, because our sight is the information we get is 2 dimensional, so it's easy to talk about that. And points we understand the concept of, but like we can't actually visualize a point because points don't have any presence, I guess, in our frame of reference. So basically that's one of the reasons that we can't grasp these, because one of the hints that we can't grasp them is that we kind of package them into, like, we compare them. And the second way that we can't, that we would have to experience 4 dimensions with an understanding of it as 4 dimensions itself, is that for all we know, we do experience 4 dimensions and higher all the time. I've spoken with many biologists that are associated with my college, and all of them say that the mind, or the brain, is kind of like the final frontier of biology, and the brain is the thing we least understand biology-wise. It's the least mapped part of the body. It's too small and complicated and complex for us to understand yet, and we're constantly making new discoveries. Not because of our advance in technology. I think a lot of one of the presentations was about how most of our advancements in understanding the brain are thanks to people that have brain disorders, because the moment we know that there's something wrong cognitively, like within someone's brain, you know what's wrong with them. Like, there's symptoms. Like, let's say the obvious thing is, oh, I can't see, so they know, like, to look in the brain and say, okay, what area is not acting the same way as all these people that can see, and they pinpoint it. That's a very big one. I mean, there's obviously there's ones that are more like less obvious than seeing and not seeing. So we could be experiencing 4 dimensions right now. Like, for all we know, our mind has this our point of view, our perception of being there. I'm not saying our personality or anything else, because that's in our brain. could extend to to another dimension. For all we know, consciousness could be some kind of thing that falls into place when a system is intricate enough. Of course, it could be anything else. I mean, we could be experiencing other dimensions in other ways that I'd rather not waste the time getting into now. I'm trying to get into it. But like, it's like I can't grasp something that I don't know is there, even if I do experience it. That's pretty much it. Maybe we will never experience four dimensions or these other concepts. Well, maybe we'll never experience free will directly, understand it. Even if we do have free will, we can't understand it because we're not in the frame of reference to encounter free will as opposed to determinism. Like, we can understand whatever. Perhaps even if we were to build an extra special ship that could blast us off the plane of our cubic world, our limited 3D organs would be incapable of registering anything comprehensible. Maybe that's the case. Maybe we would have to build this kind of interface between us and the fourth dimension in order for us to actually feel four-dimensionally. Kind of like how we have an interface between us and our computer and computer games. Like, you have to think that there is no physical space, let's say, off the top of my head, like in a Halo map, first-person shooter game, where you walk around in 3 dimensions, but it's not really 3 dimensions, it's a simulation of 3 dimensions. It's information going back and forth. It's not really dimensional at all. Yet we're somehow able to make an interface in which we can understand that zero-dimensional stuff that's going on. I don't have a very good knowledge of computer code, so maybe I'm talking about this the wrong way, but we're still able to take that code, that stuff that's going on digitally, and understand it three-dimensionally. So I do think there is some hope, the conference report, for understanding these things that we have no direct link to. Perhaps it's just a matter of more research and technology. But I guess that's pretty much all I have to say.